What's going on, everyone? It's Joe. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 2 of Bukkitt, We Ball, and I got a surprise co-host today, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Of course, bro.
Tito here with you guys. I'm happy to be back on the show. You know what I mean? Just to give my fake expert analysis on.
I wouldn't call it fake, bro. I wouldn't call it fake.
So
You're the man.
we'll see how this goes, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm happy to be back. I didn't get my episode out on Tuesday because, bro, I got other crap going on. What can you say? But I'm trying to do every Tuesday and Friday for y'all. I'm trying, bro. Stop pressuring me. I'm trying.
Keep pressuring him. That way he can keep coming out with it. You feel me?
All right. When you put it like when you say it like that, I'm kind of with it.
Keep pressuring him.
So, bro, last time we talked about just kind of life and basketball.
Yeah.
Now we got actual content to focus in on.
Okay.
And I know you're a basketball guy.
Yeah.
But I also know you're equally as much of a football guy.
Absolutely.
So, what are your thoughts on week 1, bro? And more specifically, your Eagles. How did you like that Friday night game?
I hated the whole Friday night thing. I think the NFL is just trying to squeeze as much bread as they can out of every situation, which is annoying. The game was on Peacock, so you had to try to find it and do all kind of weird things.
Yeah.
The players are complaining about playing in Brazil the entire week. They had to stay inside the hotel, so I didn't know what type of Eagles team we were going to get. I do think the addition of Saquon, which obviously by the 3 touchdowns and the 144 says that we paid the right guy. I still think some questions about Jalen Hurts. There's some questions about not having our all-pro center that we lost. You know, we had a couple
perennial all-pro center.
We had a couple of We had a couple of missed snaps. The field there wasn't the greatest. We were slipping around a little bit.
I was just about to ask you that. Did you see the ice skating rink that was at Brazil field?
Yeah. So, I mean,
it's insane.
You know, the NFL, you got to do better. You keep talking about you're about safety, so let's call you out about it. Right. So, yeah, I think that we're not the best. Hopefully, we're trending in the right direction. The defense actually looked pretty well. Again, you know, the Packers were a team that was a playoff team last year, so I'll take the win. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, any win you can get in the NFL is a win you got to take.
I'll take the win.
I don't think anyone's more well-suited to say that than me wearing this jersey.
How did you feel about the Steelers game this past Sunday against the Falcons?
Just like you, I hated it until it ended. Once I saw that we won, I was like, all right. I didn't even believe we were going to win until there were 000s on the clock. I thought they were going to somehow, just because it's the Steelers, maybe score a 9-point touchdown or some ridiculous thing to put us in the ground and have us not win that game. But we did it, bro. We did it. Mike Tomlin continues to win games when he should not be.
I mean, it's hard to deny that. Like, I don't know how. The defense obviously is going to make games ugly. That's what I like about the Steelers and I hate about them because they're going to either win or lose a lot of these 12-9, 15-10. Like, these are the games they have, right? I mean, you know, since Big Ben, the quarterback spot has been, you know, not too well for the Steelers. So hopefully you guys get that figured out.
You didn't have to say that name.
Sorry. But, you know, you guys get that figured out.
He's never coming back.
I think the Steelers will be formidable.
I think that there is a hill to get over with the offense. You know, anytime you bring in a new QB, there is. But I think Justin Fields has what it takes to make the Steelers a good, fluent offense. I think he can. I think his skill set's very friendly to the new era of the game. I mean, that if you look at Justin Fields even back when he was at Ohio State, we are not doing this again, bro. We are not doing the traffic again. Stay off my road until the podcast is over.
We got to have some natural things happen.
Exactly. So I do it to show my authenticity, guys. I do it to show that I'm not going to be looking like an ESPN model producer when I'm making all these and filming and producing them all by myself. I have exterior factors that ruin my life when I make these videos.
But you get to grow, right? You guys get to grow with the show, with the program, so you should be excited about it.
Exactly. Take it as a learning experience because Bukkitt and Tito are always here to educate the youth.
You know that. I mean, speaking of the youth, do you think that going with the younger Justin Fields is going to be the best option, or do you go with the veteran?
Yeah, do you see how off track I got? Every time a car goes by, it flips me out, bro.
No, that's why I'm here to get you back on the track.
There we go. That's why we need Tito the co-host more often. But yes, I think the fact that he's younger is going to help because even when we had Kenny Pickett, he still didn't feel young. He was 24 coming out of college. He was almost as old as Justin Fields is now. So, you take a guy who's proven with a little better arm talent, like you saw, like I was saying before the vehicle drove past.
Yeah.
I liked what Ohio State did with Justin Fields, where they really use what he could do in the short field and use that to open up the deep ball, because he has a cannon.
He does.
When he has a clean pocket and has a visible target downfield, he can launch that thing. Like, I've seen him throw the football over 70 in-air yards.
Wow.
Like, he
can
launch that thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you look at the national championship game where Ohio State won, Justin Fields absolutely cooked. Like, he...
Yeah, so he might be...
He looked like he was probably going to be the best QB in the draft back during that national title game a few years back.
Yeah, and the jury's still out because
the jury is still out.
I don't know if he's ever gotten the right personnel around him to be what he needs to be, right?
I agree with that, but now he has, and this is crazy, but if you were watching that Steelers-Falcons game, you heard the commentators say that George Pickens is perhaps a top 5 receiver in the league. I'm not even ready to put him there, and I'm not wearing his jersey right now.
Either.
But the fact that NFL commentators are mentioning that just shows you how elite of a talent he is, especially for how young he is.
Potential-wise, he could get there. But when you're talking about the wide receiver position...
Right now, it's too stacked to put him there.
Make no mistake about this. It's some studs. It's some real studs out there, bro.
And I think...
One sitting right up here.
Exactly.
Let's not do that. Top 5 is wild.
That I agree. I hated that commentary piece because I don't like the way that CBS tends to put players on a pedestal varying on the week. And some weeks they'll rag on them, and some weeks they'll say they're the best. And I don't know. I like seeing the game from a more realistic point of view.
Speaking of weeks, after week 1, who would you feel is the scariest team in the NFL? Who do you not want to play right now after week 1?
Ah, man.
It's only 1 week, so, it's hard to tell. But after week 1, who would you not want to play?
Are we just talking, if I'm a team in the NFL? Or are we talking, who do I not want the Steelers to play?
Well, no, not the Steelers. If you're just any team in the NFL and you have this team on your schedule, you're saying to yourself, I don't want to play these guys.
My answer, honestly...
Honest answer.
I'd probably say Kansas City. Because even though they're not the most loaded roster in terms of skill positions, they have Patrick Mahomes. And that's really all you need. I mean, if I were an NFL coach playing against Andy Reid's play calling, Patrick Mahomes' wizardry, the young speed they have have Xavier Worthy, who is the fastest player in the draft, runs a 4.28.
Yeah. He showed
Travis Kelce is still perennially the best tight
Thursday.
end since Gronk. Yeah. And, that's still a nightmare team to play. They have the experience, and as the commentators always allude to, they're turning into that next dynasty.
Well, I think they
Mahomes.
are. Well, I think they are.
So, and they lost Tyreek Hill and continued the dynasty. That's what shows me. That's what has shown me for years how scary that situation is.
Which is even scarier because sometimes I forget that he was there and I say, "Holy fuck! How did they ever lose a game?" When you think about it now, thinking back, because I feel like he's also gotten better. So him,
I do too. I feel
imagine
like
him now in this prime, there with that team still, and no matter how good they are. If that front office could have found a way to keep Tyreek Hill there,
yeah, I know, bro.
This would be nasty. NFL would be nasty. It would be crazy. So I would say week 1 for me, the scariest team would be the San Francisco 49ers. Right?
Yeah.
I think
I like that. I was gonna say them
only because I think that the way they won the game, they just flat out
They look
punched the
dominant.
Jets defense in the face. They literally lined up and said, we're just going to keep running the ball every single time. We're not going to disguise anything. We're just going to run it. And we're going to do it without our all-pro, the best, probably, arguably running back in the game. It's okay that he's not here today. We'll run it with this guy that you've never heard of, and we'll fucking just run straight. And, like, that's scary.
And
that's scary.
I think it's all a testament, believe it or not, to George Kittle, because
he's underrated at blocking, man.
He is the best blocking tight end that I've seen in my lifetime.
He might be ever.
Maybe Big Dog Mercedes Lewis might be the only blocking tight end I've seen comparable to George Kittle, but Kittle's dual threat ability at tight end is what anchors their run game. The fact that they have Juszczyk out there lead blocking. The 49ers and the Kyle Shanahan run game is the most dynamic run game there is.
Yeah. But again, you know, I think where they lack, and I'll say this again, I thought that they just don't have like one of these guys behind me. I mean, if you put a real big play receiver in that offense, I don't think they have that just blowing past the defense, one move on a safety guy right now. And I think that's what's holding them back.
I mean, Deebo Samuel a few years back showed flashes of being that big play guy, but
he's more of a break the tackle, break another tackle, get you, you know.
I definitely agree with that, but you know, you have Ayuk there too. They just paid $25 million a year for. So
and he had him on my. I'll know exactly how many yards he had the other day. It was like 27 or something.
Did he screw you over in fantasy
had him for 40 yards on my FanDuel, so I know he didn't even get 40 yards.
On the parlay.
On the parlay.
Yeah, I had him in fantasy in my big league, and he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
George Kittle played better than him in the receiving game, and that made me very mad. I was like, come on, dude.
I thought he was going to get a ton of targets, which he is Purdy's favorite target, so... You know,
let's be fair, he was being monitored by Sauce Gardner the entire game, who's inarguably a top 3 corner.
If you want to be a top wide receiver, just know that the top corners are coming.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't have any, it's no excuse. If you want to be the best, you're going to see the best, you have to go against them.
I agree, bro. I mean, guys like Brandon Ayuk doesn't get a break just because of how many weapons are on the field. If he's going to get paid as that number 1 receiver, he's going to be guarded.
The number 1 receiver. What about week 2? What jumps out at you? What jumps out at you week 2?
Heading into week 2, I want to see how all the teams that had big turnovers in terms of the roster, I want to see how they respond to week 1, and I want to see how they settle in. So... You know, I think, Derrick Henry looked really good in his Ravens debut. I want to see how that playbook develops now that we're a week down and we kind of know what it looks like a little bit. I want to see how they use Derrick Henry differently than last game. I want to see them hand the ball off, maybe fake hand the ball off to him more, maybe have some wide receiver action coming across.
So what you're saying is that even though you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you want Ravens success? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Don't get it twisted. I want them to lose every game. But as the football fan in me, the football mind in me, I want to see, you know, pretend the Ravens and the Steelers aren't a rivalry and they're just out. I'm just trying to help every team win.
Right.
I want to see the Ravens open it up to the dynamic level of play calling that we know they can open it up to.
Well, I think the Ravens suffer from some of the same things of like the 49ers suffer from.
I agree with that.
It's you're so good during the regular season because we can nitpick out the Ravens all we want. You know, in bad seasons they win about 11 games, 10 games,
Right.
Even as bad as Lamar looks at times passing the ball, they're still going to be there at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And the question becomes, I don't really know what their identity is right now. I'm unsure of what they're trying to do.
That's kind of what I was alluding to. I mean, I think their identity is definitely going to be the run game, but I want to see that run game open up an elite passing game. I want to see Rashad Bateman make some of the some of the catches that he made against Kansas City. I want to see him make those more often. I want to see him exploit matchups. I want to see him and Zay Flowers out there wreaking havoc if I'm a Ravens fan. And I just want to see, those guys become a bigger part of the offense. That way Derrick Henry doesn't just become a Titans Derrick Henry where everyone knows it's going to him and there's no other option.
Who do they play this week coming up? Do you know?
Baltimore? Well, I can pull it up right here. Let me get my dash.
Pull it up. Eventually we'll have one of those guys.
They play, I want to say they play Las Vegas. Hold on. Yup, they play the Raiders.
You know what? I did know that, and they're like super favorites against the Raiders.
Yeah,
they're like almost a 9.5 point favorite, which I didn't agree with that number.
It's still early in the year to be predicting blowouts, in my opinion. But
I'm actually on the Raiders in this game. Plus 9.5 is a ton of points. Yeah. I'm an NFL guy. Like when I bet NFL, you got to show me that you can beat somebody by anything over, especially like anything over a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And the team is that's a lot of points in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like 7.5. If you give me 7.5, I almost, unless the team just flat out sucks. Like then it's
which the Raiders might be getting there, but
unless you're the Giants right now.
Or Carolina.
Oh, Carolina's bad. All right, let's go through this week's of games.
Carolina's terrible.
Let's go through this week of games and get your opinion on some of these.
I think we did a good job covering the headlines and our expectations for week 2.
Yes.
And kind of just our kind of thoughts on the current landscape of who we think might be the best teams. And there is a little activity I want to do after we preview these games. But
let's do it. I'm with it.
All right, let's start with the team you were hammering on before, the 49ers, taking on the Vikings. And Sam Darnold coming off a great week 1 win.
Where's the game?
It is in Minnesota.
49ers, Minnesota.
And if this helps you at all, even though this did not affect the 49ers at all, Christian McCaffrey is still questionable, and he won't play. He is still aiming to not play this week.
Yeah, he won't play.
Jordan Mason's looking to be the bell cow
to be honest with you, common sense would say, especially because it was like an Achilles.
Until you need him, keep him out.
An Achilles calf thing, you never really want to mess around with that.
You don't want to flirt with that at all.
Yeah, so I think they proved they didn't need him. I don't know. It's one of those tricky games, but I'm going to go with the 49ers.
I am as well.
I think the 49ers should win that game.
I feel like it's just going to be one of those games where the Vikings will show flashes. They'll use the weapons that they have. They'll use... it's looking like Jordan Addison might be missing a little bit of time.
Quick question. Can Sam Darnold be the next Baker Mayfield? Can he
That's
have
a great comparison.
resurgence?
That's a great comparison, and I definitely want to talk about Baker Mayfield later in this because as somebody who is the biggest Browns hater on the planet, Baker Mayfield is now probably in my top 3 favorite quarterbacks in the NFL. I freaking love that man. He is a dog. Baker Mayfield, I want to start barking right now because Baker Mayfield's a dog.
He is. Like, he's underrated. He was, and man, I would love to. All he did was work. He didn't listen to what was happening.
Shut out all the noise.
He just went to work. So, Sam Darnold, he's getting another opportunity, which some people don't get. Can he now? It's in line for him, right? You got a rookie that's still untested. This is Sam Darnold's moment.
I agree.
Right now, can you take this job? Are you going to be able to have a winning season with this and make them say, hey, maybe we hold off on JJ. We got him. Let's let him watch.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, the short answer is yes, it's definitely possible. My more detailed answer would be, can Sam Darnold make plays against high-level offense or high-level defenses the way Baker Mayfield does?
I don't know.
I want to say yes, and it comes down to play calling. I think the X's and O's in today's NFL are super important. The way they're changing around all of the formation rules and
which was weird.
Over 24,
which was terrible.
I believe the number was 24 illegal formation.
How many things are we going to change? Like the week 1 was horrible to watch. Me personally, as a I'm not a casual fan, but a casual fan watching an already slow game, the last thing they want you to do is blow in the whistle because a 300-pound fucking guy
is lined up 3 inches from the center line.
This dude is 6'7", bro. He's not out there to be like.
He's not trying to cheat, bro.
He's trying to fucking protect the quarterback or run somebody over. Like, I don't want to see these penalties called. Like, it's just do a new point of emphasis. They just want to get paid on something. It was very annoying for me.
They want their spotlight. I feel that was very frustrating, especially in the first game of the year where the whole first drive was just halted by penalties. Like, I feel like I wasn't even watching an organic football game. I just felt like it was all ref determined. That first Thursday night game, I didn't like watching it.
Please, refs, listen. Look, we love you, right? We don't watch football for you. Like, we just be there as a prop. We don't watch football. We don't watch.
They're the money in the bank briefcase.
Yeah, just be there. If something significantly happens, you have to call it. But you can call holding on every play, right? You can call illegal formation almost in every play. And guess what? These coaches are extremely smart. There's going to be another way to manipulate the shit either way.
Exactly.
So, like, what are we doing?
Look at the tush push, bro, where they just line up in a QB kneel position, but they sneak it instead.
You don't have to tell me about the tush.
I know. I don't got to tell you. You watch the tush push
I watch
48
it too
times
much,
a season.
You know, but speaking of that, who we got this week? Who do the Eagles got this week?
Don't you guys... Man...
I might have to jump the gun. Go straight down the line. Forget the Eagles. We'll go straight down the line.
You want to go straight down the line?
Straight down
well, you guys play the Falcons, if that helps you. Same guys we just knocked off last week.
Yeah. Who's next?
We got Seattle and New England in Gillette. I'm a big Geno Smith guy.
I'm a big Jacoby Brissett guy. All he does is show up. Anytime he's all he does is when he's there is be solid. Every time he's had a shot, he's been solid.
I really like the way he plays in the red zone. I really like his ability on the ground.
If you have to choose one of those teams right now, go. Who you picking?
I got Seattle on the road.
By how much?
By, let's say 30-24.
Shit.
That's high scoring.
That is.
Let me go 24 to 17. I think that's pretty fair. I think Ramondre Stevenson will probably have a decent day. He's probably their best offensive weapon.
He is.
I think he'll do some good work dual threat wise out of the backfield, and I just don't think they're going to be enough. The Patriots just don't have a lot of firepower in 2024.
Yeah.
It's like they can win games off good coaching. I think Gerard Mayo's going to be an amazing head coach, but I just don't think their time is now. I think Geno's been doing this at least with Seattle for the past 5 years almost. DK Metcalf is still there. Tyler Lockett is still there. JSN is in the slot. Kenneth Walker is in the backfield. This is a high-powered offense, and I really like them on the road against New England, who's still trying to settle into their new culture.
I mean, you have convinced me. I mean, like you've literally said what needed to be said. So I'm going to go with you on that one. I think it'll be, I think around that scoring game. So
I think, I think Seattle's going to bounce back from kind of just a whatever week one. I mean, winning and losing, in my opinion, in week one never tells the whole story. It's kind of how you look.
It doesn't, but you'd rather be
You'd rather be in the win column.
So who we have next?
I'm excited to talk about this one. We got the toilet bowl of the NFC East. There's the Super Bowl, and there's the toilet bowl. So we got the Commanders and the Giants in Washington.
I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this.
It's simple. I got the Commanders.
I got the Commanders, too.
I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a nice quarterback one day.
You got to stop running so much. He looks a little thin out there.
Flustered.
Running a lot. But I do think that the Giants have too many question marks right now.
I just don't think they have anything of what it takes to be a good team in the NFL. It's that simple. I mean,
be a close game though. Think it'll be a close game.
I think it will too. I don't think the Giants are going to get destroyed.
I think it'll be a close game.
The Panthers might get destroyed because they're the Panthers, but
so what's the next game we got on the schedule?
I'll take the Commanders by like maybe 6. I don't care enough to predict the score for it.
I don't either.
That game's gonna go whatever way it goes.
6-3. I won't be spending a lot of time watching it. But
they're both gonna be 4-13 by the time the year ends.
I won't spend a lot of time watching that game.
Me neither. But we're moving on to the Chargers and the Panthers.
Another game we won't spend much time on. We'll go with the Chargers by...
Let's talk about the Chargers a little bit.
I don't like the Chargers. I don't like anything about them, except for the fact that Justin Herbert looks like he should be the next coming of Andrew Luck or somebody, but he hasn't proven that.
I wouldn't want to be the next coming of Andrew Luck.
Well, I mean, Andrew Luck came
from
in and
a
got
skill
some
talent perspective, absolutely.
He looks like he should be that guy, but he's like a weird hitch in his throwing motion, which I've never really liked. They got him some weapons, and I feel like they got the wrong weapons.
Yeah, Quentin Johnson out of TCU has a massive hands problem, and I thought he was going to come in and really be like a Mike Williams type of player for them. But they've definitely, you can tell they've missed Mike Williams. You can tell they've missed Keenan Allen just through one. It's going to be a big adjustment period for Herbert. I think Herbert still has what it takes to be a good QB in the league. It's just...
I do too.
He needs the tools around him, and I want to see the Chargers actually find some continuity instead of just putting it on Justin Herbert's shoulders.
I'm not done with the Chargers because I forgot they got my man Harbaugh back. So I'll take that statement back. I'm not done with the Chargers. But right now...
And Harbaugh adjust to the NFL.
I'm just going to let that be. Chargers by 3. Chargers by 3 to... No, they're playing the Panthers. Chargers by 7.
I might take the Chargers by 32 this week.
I don't trust them.
I have no reason to trust Carolina.
Me either.
Notice we didn't say a single word about them. It's because they are horrible. They made, in my opinion, a top... If you look back on it in 10 years, I think we're going to look at it as probably one of the worst draft picks of all time. Picking Bryce Young over the likes of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. I mean, the better...
And
but
Bijan Robinson.
Let's put it this way. How many times has Carolina gotten it right with picks? Maybe 3 times?
They got it right with Cam.
3
he
times.
Just took it on Nestle.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Cam. Julius Peppers.
Back in the day.
Luke Kuechly. It got like
they
5 draft picks.
They did make a Super Bowl less than 10 years ago. Don't forget that, guys.
No, yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, but... And again, some people...
They got mowed over.
But see, here's the thing. Some people fail to realize, too, man, how good Cam was.
Superman Cam, baby.
He didn't...
One of the best college football players to ever grace the earth.
Look at the receivers that some of these guys have.
Yeah,
that can't get it done. Really look at the receivers that some of these guys have that can't win. Like Joe Burrow. Like
Carolina has a really talented receiver room. They have Adam Thielen. They have Deontay Johnson. These are 2 former Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson's still in his 20s.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson just never turned... I mean, if he was that good, you guys would have kept him.
He isn't as sure-handed. I mean, I still love Tay, even though I'm a Steelers fan, and he left us.
You guys would have kept him if he was that good. But yeah, let's not waste that much time on that. That game is...
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself for how long I took talking about that game. But let's talk about this one.
Chargers.
Saints-Cowboys in Dallas. The Saints looked freaking amazing week 1. That could have an asterisk on it because, they played... the god-darn Panthers, but I think this could be a competitive game.
I think Cowboys destroy them.
For real?
To be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not a Cowboys fan. Cowboys come out and put the belt to the ass on the Saints. and we realize once again that it's the same old Saints. There was no pass rush against Derek Carr last week. He got to sit back in the pocket and basically do whatever he wanted to do. But I think Micah Parsons and those guys are going to have something different to say about this. You add that with the offensive firepower of Dallas.
Right.
The questions in the secondary of the Saints. I don't think this game is going to be close, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I think maybe this season we see one of those late career resurgences like a Geno Smith, but kind of a little different with Derek Carr. Maybe we get bad boy Derek Carr back, who was winning playoff games just 2 years ago with the Raiders.
Maybe. I mean, I just don't see it.
Or winning big primetime games and leading them to the playoffs.
I just don't see it, man. I don't think that they can beat the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know. I will predict the Dallas Cowboys. I said it was going to be a competitive game, not that the Saints were going to win, and the fact that it is an AT&T Stadium has me feeling definitely leaning towards the Cowboys. But
Cowboys by 14.
Wow.
I won't bet by 14 because that's a lot of points, but I do think that Cowboys by 14, if,
I think the Saints offense looked really good in week 1. I feel like a lot of how you start the year is in your offseason preparation. From what I saw, to beat any NFL team 47-10 in week 1 is very incredible to put up near 50 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if even though that there's that big asterisk of playing the Panthers, I think it's important to tell that
let's not get carried away. They played the worst team in the league and they were at home.
Correct. But I think the offense, for what it was, it looked like good rhythm offense. I think it's going to be a closer one than you think.
I mean, it's always going to be good rhythm when you're playing a bad team and you're at home. Like, you didn't have to travel on week 1.
That's
you slept in your own bed.
That's true.
We'll see. Cowboys coming to town, though.
Yeah. Well, the Cowboys are staying in town. The Saints are coming to town. The Saints come marching in.
Oh, the Saints are going to the Cowboys?
The Saints are coming marching in to Dallas.
Man, 14 points. I thought... Listen, can the camera see me? Dallas by 14. If you got a teaser, tease it up.
I got Dallas by 7.
All right, who we got next?
7-10. We got Colts and Packers. Anthony Richardson versus Jordan Love, a battle of 2 of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, Jordan Love is out.
Jordan Love is out. Oh my God, no.
Jordan Love is out.
No, they took that away from us.
MCL sprain.
No, I forgot.
He's going about 3 to 4 weeks. He's not going to be playing.
Thank you for that. Oh my God, I totally forgot.
So,
unreal.
The game
man.
Is where? Where's the game?
It's in Green Bay.
The game is in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay. They're going with Malik Willis as the backup, if I'm not wrong.
Malik Willis
from Liberty, and now into Tennessee.
In Green Bay.
Now he's in Green Bay.
Josh Jacobs.
He's going to need a workload this week.
I'm not going to lie to you. I can see Green Bay winning this game.
I think Green Bay will win this game.
I can see Green Bay winning this game.
I think no matter what, when you plug and play a young quarterback for another young quarterback, I think it's really just more of a matter of principles and sticking with what you know. I think Malik Willis will need to rely more on his weapons than Jordan Love will, because Jordan Love's just kind of more of a overall make plays, talented playmaker quarterback. But I think Malik Willis, especially playing with Matthew LaFleur, I think he's going to be kind of playing how backups have always played in Green Bay, and that's
I think
banking on the offense and banking on the fans and Lambeau and everyone to come out and support. So I think Green Bay gets it done too. But how do you think Anthony Richardson is looking for the rest of the season here?
I think he looks really good, but he has to stop running the football. Right? I mean, he took a massive hit last week when I was watching the game to get that touchdown. And I mean, again,
I love his playmaking ability, but you gotta just pray he doesn't get hurt again.
These guys are walking around really light, a lot lighter than me. And they're out there playing against guys that are a lot bigger than me.
Right.
So, with that being said, pause. With that being said, you got to be serious about what you're doing. And they got to do a better job at protecting him. If he's going to be your franchise quarterback, stop making him run the ball so much when you have
And this has always been an issue for the Colts.
You have Jonathan Taylor there, who is a guaranteed back that he can go 20-25 carries a game. Right? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is dealing with the injury history of Jonathan Taylor and not trying to run him into the ground too early. Yeah. But at the same time, Anthony Richardson's coming off an injury of his own, and you don't want to see him go down again.
Yeah,
Similar to how Tua went down last night.
I don't even want that. That's just a whole nother topic.
We'll end with that one. Yeah, we'll end with that game last night.
We'll go Moneyline Packers. If I had to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Could be 2 points.
I wouldn't bet a spread.
I wouldn't bet a spread on that.
I think the Packers. I think they're looking good. I mean, they lost to a really good team in Brazil week 1. I think that game's a big asterisk.
We don't know what the Packers really are, right?
We don't really know what they look like, and we're really not going to know what they're going to look like in the playoff time, assuming they make it again. Assuming. But that would be with Jordan Love. This is a whole different operation with Malik Willis. We could see a lot of Malik Willis running the ball himself, a lot of option work with Josh Jacobs, a lot of swing passes.
It's true.
Malik Willis is,
it's true.
If he were to be a full-time starter, he would probably be a top 5 fastest quarterback in the league. So.
That's a fact. So I mean,
I think he has high upside.
He does. But we'll move on from that game and we'll go with the
Let's
next game. We got Is that the Jets?
That is not the JET. Yeah. Well, what your reading is, but I was going left, right, down,
Okay,
left, right.
so we can go down left, right.
So let's talk about the poopy Browns.
And the Jaguars.
In the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is an odd game.
I don't think I have a comment for this game. I'll be honest with you. And
the
for,
two most mediocre teams in the league.
Right. And for that reason that you just said. I watched the Jacksonville Jaguars last week just give up a game. Like, literally give the game to Miami. Right. They controlled the entire game and just gave up a couple big plays and gave the game away. Like, Miami right now is in trouble. We'll talk about them later. But Jaguars and Browns, I have no comment. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know which defense is gonna show up for the Browns. Is it gonna be the same defense that was good last year, but the Cowboys just whooped their ass? Are the Jaguars gonna get it done in big moments finally? I have no clue.
I will say, Jacksonville.
Stay away from that game if you're a bettor.
Jacksonville is playing at home. They're playing against a Cleveland team who just dropped a big game to Dallas in week 1 on their home field.
Yeah.
And I have zero belief in Deshaun Watson in 2024. I think he is a bottom 5 quarterback in this league, and I will debate that with anyone watching.
So
I think he's terrible. I think he should be out of the NFL, not only for the off-the-field stuff and just how big of a distraction he is to a locker room.
Right.
But I think he should be out of the league for how terrible he's playing.
So, quick question. We ain't going to spend a lot of time on this game. You have to choose one right now. Are you going Browns or Jags?
I'm going Jags because I think Trevor Lawrence, I still believe in Trevor Lawrence, and he has some new weapons.
I'll go Jags at home.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose Calvin Ridley. They only had him for a year.
No more than 3.
Something about that offense with Ridley wasn't working out. Yeah. But I like the offense with Christian Kirk. I like the offense with Etienne.
I love Kirk.
And I love the offense with Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, who I think is incredible.
I do. I'll go Jags.
I got the Jags at home. I think their defense will make some plays on the horrible decision maker that is Deshaun Watson.
Right. Now we'll go to...
They're going to turn some turnovers over.
We'll go to Dom's favorite team.
Uh-oh. Shout out to you, Dom, if you're watching.
Shout out to you, Dom, if you're watching the Jets playing against...
Jets!
That's so annoying.
Yeah, I hate that.
Playing against the Titans. I've been to Jets games. I hate that. Playing against the Titans. This is another game where I feel like I don't have enough information on either one of these two teams.
I don't know what the Titans are going to look like this year.
I have no
Half
clue.
of me is saying they can be decent because I really like Mike Vrabel.
I really like Will Levis for some reason.
I like Will Levis's arm talent. It's just who's there for him? It's Hopkins, it's Ridley, yeah, but
I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going with the Titans as the winners of that game.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't.
I'm going
do that.
Titans.
I can't give that to
Titans
Aaron.
win that game.
I think the way the Jets looked in Week 1 against San Fran, I think
you can't really hold that against them.
I think it's only going to piss them off. I think they're going to come out. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be livid coming into this game, more than excited. He's going to be mad. I think we're going to get that bad man. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and
Aaron, I could be wrong, Aaron, but we the same age, bro.
No.
Listen, Aaron, we both 40 years old. It might be time. It might. You've been. Listen, you've been great.
Aaron, we love you.
You a bad man. It might be time for you to get you a microphone. Let's have you on the
show.
We can have you on a show. You can come talk to us about all these things. Aaron. But Aaron, I don't know. And again, it's not your fault. Because the defense that was supposedly awesome before, they just got the ass whooped. Last week, the offense is actually good for the Jets.
I think Aaron looked good.
He did. But, I mean, listen, man.
They couldn't get
Sorry, Aaron. I'm going with the Titans at home, baby. Give me Tennessee at home.
I can't do it.
Guarantee it.
We'll be back to explain, but I don't know. I can't do it to Aaron. I think they bounce back strong. I think their weapons impose their will on the young Titans defense. I think the Titans offense still needs time. I think they're still going to experience the growing pains they experienced last week. Will Levis with the funniest picture in NFL history last week when he dropped to his knees.
It's that dude, man.
He's afraid of mayonnaise.
So you going with the Jets?
I'm going with the Jets. I think
by how much?
Over 10 points.
I
think they're gonna dominate.
I'll go with the Titans to squeak it out. It's gonna be one of them weird games where they stay around.
What's sad is I feel like this is gonna happen
to hit a field goal, some weird field goal shit. Couple special team plays. I don't think they're as talented as the Jets, I just got this feeling. What time is the game? Is it a 1 o'clock game?
Yes, it is.
Those weird 1 o'clock games in Tennessee. It's I don't know, man. They've cost me a lot of money in the past betting against the Titans at 1 o'clock in Tennessee. So we'll move on from that game, but pay attention to that one. That's a good game to watch.
It is.
Now we're gonna be at the Bucks versus who?
Bucks and Lions. It's in Ford Field, in the iconic Ford Field in Detroit.
Listen, man. One thing. This is my
1 p.m. game.
My gambling. The gambling side of me tells me this is my pick of the week. I got Bucks plus 7.5.
Wow.
If you see Bucks plus 7.5, you got to take that number right there.
I would agree.
I don't know why the Lions are favored so high in this game.
I'm going to take it a step further. I think Tampa Bay is going to win this game in Detroit.
I can see it happening.
It might just be the Baker Mayfield in me. It might just be the Baker Mayfield fan in me. But, dude, I love their offense. Rashad White is one of the best dual-threat running backs in the league. Baker Mayfield spreads the ball around like no quarterback I've seen lately. I love the way he utilizes all of his weapons. He spreads the love. Godwin gets involved a lot. Evans gets a lot of goal line work. That's a great team. I love watching them operate, and they have equally as good of a defense. I think if there's a team that makes stops on the Lions in the NFC, I think Tampa's that scary team to the 49ers and the Lions. Like, oh, God, watch out for them.
Yeah, I think the Lions still have enough offensive firepower.
For sure.
Goff doesn't make many mistakes. They're at home. I'm going to take the Lions by 3 in a close one. Lions by 3 in a close one. The Lions had a crazy schedule to where, to me, they had the 2 scariest teams in the NFC as far as, those...
Not expecting them to be as scary?
Right. Like, the Rams, to me, is my sleeper. So the Lions, if they can pull out 2, if they can get 2-0 after these 2 games, I think they're in pretty good shape.
I think they're in amazing shape if they win 2 in a row, and it does help the fact that they are playing at home for this one because Ford Field gets really loud, especially when the Lions are good.
I'm going Lions by 3.
I'm going to take Tampa by 3. I got Tampa by a field goal.
Okay.
I think they're going to squeak it out. The reason being, you saw the way Cooper Kupp was able to dominate them.
He was.
In the short game.
You just said Cooper Kupp.
14 catches.
You're talking about one of them dudes, though.
Mike Evans is one of them
dudes. Oh, no, Mike Evans is one of them dudes.
Chris Godwin is one of them dudes.
He's a different type of one of them dudes, though.
True, but you look at the way Cooper Kupp dominated the Rams secondary, You look at how they dominated the Lions secondary throughout the stretch of that game. That was Matt Stafford making Matt Stafford heavy, I'm a ultra competitive.
And then Puka got hurt, too, didn't he?
And Puka did get hurt. But
it's a different game.
I think Chris Godwin dominates the game in certain ways that Cooper Kupp also does in terms of his route running and working all the different levels of the field.
Man, it's 3 points either way. We can debate it, but it's who do we got next coming up?
Yeah.
Because it's 3 points either way. That's going to be a great game, though. It's a good game to watch.
I think it's going to be a really
game to watch
exciting
in
one.
week 2.
We got Raiders-Ravens. Kind of touched on it a little earlier.
Yeah, we ain't gonna. It's another one we won't spend too much time with.
I got Baltimore winning it, though. They came off a frustrating Week 1 loss to the Chiefs, where they were literally a toenail away from winning.
Yeah, what are we talking about here?
I think the Ravens.
Baltimore.
I think Baltimore's at home. I agree. I think it's a double-digit win for Baltimore.
7-10. If you just a person that want to gamble this game and the teaser is a good, you might get it up to Raiders 14.5 or something like that. That's the only thing I would feel comfortable with.
Right.
But other than that, let me even not waste no time. Ravens by at least close to 10. I think the spread is about right.
For sure. Moving on, we got Rams-Cardinals. Do you think this will be a game?
I do. I think, honestly, the Cardinals, now that Kyler Murray's healthy, will give everybody a game. Can they finish in the clutch? I don't know. But I do think
they did not against Buffalo.
They should have. They dominated that game. They should have won.
They destroyed up until Buffalo destroyed them back in the crunch time.
Give me the Rams. I trust the Rams more.
I do too.
I
I think it's another thing too. Heading into week 2, I think there's going to be a lot of chip on the shoulder situations. It's what I touched on with the Jets. It's what I touched on with the Ravens. How do you respond? And that's really the first thing that I said when you said what I was looking forward to week 2. I want to see how these new look teams respond to their week 1 lacks of success.
Right. And give me the Rams. I trust.
Give me the Rams. I think they played really well against the Lions, and I think it's going to be even better.
And they're having trouble getting Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. He had 4 targets.
He was wide open.
He had
for
4
a touchdown
targets.
on one of them.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Give me the Rams.
I don't want to waste any time on that.
How you doing? Keep it moving. We got Bengals Chiefs. The Bengals looked abysmal in week 1. The Chiefs looked really good in week 1.
Give me the Bengals.
No!
Give me the Bengals.
Who they?
Give me the Bengals. It's all set up. You heard what he just said. The Bengals looked terrible in week 1. They sure did.
You think that's going to be an example of a bounce back, chip on the shoulder situation?
I just think they have the least fear of the Kansas City Chiefs. I also think Joe Burrow has something to prove.
This game isn't.
Will Higgins be back?
Higgins, it was a hamstring pull. Jamar Chase was questionable with an illness heading into last week. He's now all systems go on this injury report. And I believe if T. Higgins is active, he'll be on a snap count.
Give me the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Can they get their run game going is the thing. With Zach Moss and Chase Brown.
They should be able to.
Kansas City is a stout run defensive team.
I'm going to go. I'm not going to lie with you. I'm going with the Bengals in this game just because I don't know how much KC cares. I don't know how much they care about these regular season games, right? I just don't, and that's probably the reason why I bet against them on Thursday night because I just felt like I don't know if they care about. They know they'll be in the playoffs. They know they have enough games to get there. Do they care this much about this game as the Bengals? Right, the Bengals will be 0-2 if they lose this game. Right? I don't know all those statistics, but they have it when you look it up. Teams that start 0-2, how they usually make the playoffs. Teams that start 0-3, which next time we're here, we'll have all that, jazz for you. But I think the Bengals need it more. They got to come out desperate. I'm going to go with them.
I think Kansas City just does Kansas City when they're playing in Arrowhead things. I just feel like there's magic in the air every time they're playing in Arrowhead Stadium. This is a 4:25 game. The Bengals will have to adjust slightly to a time zone, which every team has to deal with, but that's always an underlying thing that goes into preparation for games. I really think the Jamar Chase holdout extremely hurt the Bengals' preparation throughout the offseason. And I think it's just going to be a couple weeks for them to get into rhythm, really. Even though I think they're a really talented team, I have them starting 0-2. I just think this is horrible luck of the draw for them to have to go play Kansas City in Arrowhead.
It happens.
But we will, we touched on the Chiefs a lot earlier. I do think they are the number one. I don't want to play these freaking guys team in the league right now. And that's kind of all we have to touch on for now. But I really am looking to see Xavier Worthy back in the end zone again. I really love the ways they got him involved in week 1.
All right, so moving on to the next game, what do we have?
We have my Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Denver Broncos in Mile High, in Power, whatever.
This is another nasty game.
This is a gross game.
This game is
hideous.
Nasty game. And when you say nasty games and you say Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to have to go with the Steelers in this game.
I am too. I think, and keep in mind, Justin Fields is starting again. Russell Wilson is likely going to be inactive again with his calf strain. So no return revenge game for Russell Wilson in Denver. But I think that will actually help the Steelers. I don't want the Steelers playing with emotion.
And more pressure for no reason.
Exactly. I want the Steelers playing with preparation that Mike Tomlin always stresses going into the week. I want to see, T.J. Watt continue to leave that footprint of being one of the greatest defensive edges to ever play the game. I want to see TJ Watt come out, make a statement. I want to see the whole defense make a statement. I want to see less holds on the secondary. I think we're going to see a more disciplined Steelers defense. And I think it's, like I said with a lot of the young teams here, I think it's just going to be a lot of growing pains for Denver to start this year with Bo Nix at the helm. And it's just a lot of... Tomlin's so historically good against rookie quarterbacks.
And he's so historically good in these games where it seems like it's going to be a dog fight.
Right.
And with that being said, I'm going to go with Steelers
I got Steelers
17-13.
I got Steelers by 5, 6.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe like a... trying to think, maybe like a 20-14.
Yeah, it feels like one of those
2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. I got
like,
Steelers 20-14.
Right, I feel like it's going to get your blood pressure up watching it because you don't know what's going to happen.
Because it does every week.
And, if they come out on... I think they'll come out winning, though.
But I do think Justin Fields will score a touchdown not only through the air, but I think he'll score one with his legs as well.
Oh, okay. That might be a good prop bet right there.
I think Justin Fields finds the end zone twice.
I like that. So who do we got next?
Moving on, we have Bears-Texans at 4:25. Wait, no. That's a Sunday night game. Bears-Texans on Sunday night.
Oh, that'd be Sunday night.
It is. The NFL made that Sunday night, and maybe they were thinking at an elite young quarterback duel between C.J. Stroud and Caleb Williams for Sunday Night Football.
Bears look terrible.
They look terrible
up until like close to the end of the third quarter of that other game. The offense doesn't look good.
Yeah, but like you look at who's on that offense, and they should be really good. DeAndre Swift is a very talented back. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, these guys are playmakers on the outside. Like Caleb Williams himself is a playmaker. We saw flashes of it in the preseason.
Yeah.
Something has to give for the Bears, but I don't think it comes this week.
Doesn't come this week.
Houston's playing at home.
Yeah, Houston by a touchdown, man.
Houston didn't look that good last week against the Colts.
Yeah, but the Colts, that was a division game.
It was a competitive division game.
You also build your team to play against your division.
I didn't see that juggernaut offense that we thought the Texans were going to be. Yeah. I didn't see a juggernaut. I saw a team surviving.
You'll see it this week because these teams they design their team to play against you twice a year.
Right.
Like other teams don't. Right? So you got to realize that the Bears are not designing their team to play against
This is a cross-conference game in Houston.
By 7.
I got Houston by... We'll go Houston by 4 points.
Okay.
I think it'll be 28-24.
Okay. And who's the Monday night game?
Monday night, we got your Eagles defending home field against the Falcons.
Yes, sir, we do. Again, as critical as I've been about the Eagles, watching the Falcons defense last week, I don't see how they stop the run. We should come out early, running the football, getting under center, then let's get Hurts into some rolling around play action type of things.
I think the Eagles have it for sure.
Eagles pull out this win for sure.
I am looking to see Jalen Hurts be more consistent through the air. He found A.J. Brown on a very, very nice deep ball for a touchdown last week. I want to see Jalen Hurts spread the ball around more, get it to guys like Goddard, get it to guys like just came over from the Washington, Jahan Dotson.
Dotson.
I think he's very good, especially for a slot guy or even just the complement to A.J. Brown on the other end if you want to have Devonta Smith work the slot. Devonta Smith is incredible. He is. For how undersized he is, he gets open and he is thunder in the open field. So I want to see the ball get to those guys and those playmakers. All right, y'all. So that really is going to conclude it for us. I mean, we touched on every single game coming up in week 2. I promise you, this is the best interactive football content you're going to find.
In the world.
In the whole world.
In the world. Yeah, we're being cocky today.
Good morning football, come at me. College game day, come at me. Even though we did not talk about college.
We didn't talk about college, which it's a little bit hard to watch. We will.
We'll touch on it. I watch everything, so we'll touch on it all. But as always, bro, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
the
having me,
episodes
man.
with you
Thank
as the
you.
co-hosts are always the most entertaining, I feel.
Thank you for having me. Anytime I can, be here. And
of course, bro, we're going to try to make this a regular thing.
Yeah, we'll make it a regular thing as much as we can.
I'm not going to make any commitments to Tito will be on every Friday, but
everybody, please, if you can.
You'll be around, man.
Make sure you like anything that you see, subscribe it, share the videos.
Exactly. His socials will be in the description.
Keep harassing them, keep staying on them.
Keep making me upload these, man, because the more you guys show love and reach out, and I want to see these podcasts. Where are they? The more I'll be motivated to make sure that they happen and come out every single Tuesday and Friday. And I promise you, there will be at least, there might be times I miss one of the 2 episodes a week. I will upload a video 100% every single week.
And we holding them to that. We're going to hold them to that standard. So.
Well, I'm guaranteeing it. So I'll
thanks again for a good show. And
thanks again.
I hope to see you guys again next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tito.